Hello, it's Victoria from victoriagibson.com, and this is day one of the 5-day Traffic Boost Challenge. And day one is all about your Facebook ad boost, okay? I'm going to give you some videos, resources, start the discussion, start the ball rolling on Facebook ads. Now, regardless of whether you've tried ads or you're a seasoned operator, you're going to find something in one of these videos. But of course, because we're starting at the beginning, this is going to be more of the beginner kind of basic video to get started on Facebook ads. And even if you've done some or tinkered around, hopefully you'll find a few tips that are going to improve your game. And hopefully it's not too advanced for you if you haven't started at all. That's really why I've decided to have these videos within the group, because I think it's in the Facebook group, because I think it's super important that you have the opportunity to ask questions, ask for more clarity on certain points, and I can go deeper as well if required. And then also, equally, if you need me to go deeper on a topic, if this feels too elementary for you, you can also ask me in the group. Custom advice, pretty nice, okay? So I'm here, I'm your host, I'm your guide, so why don't we dive into this first video for day one, which is how to create a basic list building ad. What do I mean by that? I mean, how do you create an ad that gets you noticed by your target market, gets them to take action, namely by entering their email address to your email list, right? So you can recontact them again and again, start a relationship with them, build trust over time, so that when you go to actually make an offer for something where you're saying, hey, give me your money, they're more likely to do it. So why run Facebook ads and not anything else? Because Facebook ads, despite the fact there's a lot more competition now, are still one of the cheapest forms of traffic. They're one of the easiest ways to reach your target audience. There's only a few key markets that aren't on there, and it may be appropriate to use another channel there, and we'll go into that in the rest of this challenge. But generally, for most people, you're going to be able to find your people on Facebook. There's, well over 1 billion daily users. Every man and his dog is on here. I've been saying it for years and it's still true. So I want you to at least have those basics of being able to run a Facebook ad that builds your email list. This is really the foundation of all your campaigns. Then I'm going to add a few videos to the challenge that are going to help you move forward using some of the other superpowers of Facebook ads. So without further ado, let's get started. This is my Facebook page. I could also be in my Facebook profile when I come into Facebook in order to access the Ads Manager. The Ads Manager is the back end of your Facebook profile and really where you do all your Facebook advertising. Now there's a couple of little areas in there, and for the purposes of this challenge, I'm not going to go into Power Editor because it is an absolute beast and it can confuse even the best of us. And even I don't go in there that often because I'm not generally running, millions of ads a day and going crazy with 100,000 split tests and the like, okay? So Power Editor is just one of the things you can use to create ads. But for the purposes of this video, to keep it simple, I'm going to show you how I would run campaigns in the simple Ads Manager. So how do I get there? Well, I pop up here to my little drop down on the right hand side. And then I jump into, I'm just going to create an ad, right? So if I want to see what's in my Ads Manager, I go to Manage Ads, and that'll show me which campaigns have been running and what's been happening. But for the purposes of just getting started, we want to create an ad. So we're going to jump in here and we're going to start to create our ad. If you haven't used the Ads Manager before, once you've created your ad, it's going to ask you to set up your billing information and details as well. So that's pretty straightforward. Just follow the prompts and then you'll have an active account and you'll fund it with either PayPal or a credit card. So you'll be able to pay for your ads because alas, it is not free. Facebook ads do require payment. But the beautiful thing is, even if you want to have a little dabble, right, you can start for as little as $10 a day. less if you want, but you're probably not going to see much action. $10, depending on what area you're in, you might not see a lot either. But it's a great way to sort of dip your toe in the water and see how it goes. Just to dial it back as well and to mention, the platform really is about serving ads to users on Facebook based on their likes and interests. Now, I know this is pretty elementary, but I do forget that sometimes I don't really, simplify things sometimes. So I'm just going to start at the very beginning. So here's my ad, right? On the right-hand side, someone else's ad. Mine's much better. Just joking. So a couple of ads on the right-hand side. That can be where you see an ad. You can also see an ad in the news feed. Okay, so I might come down here, and I'm sure I'm going to see one soon. These are all, amongst my friends' updates. Here we go. They know I am interested in online marketing, etc., coaching, consulting. The reason I know this is an ad here is that it says sponsored here. So they've created an ad, got a little button there, call to action, jump on in, I can go somewhere. This is pretty much a basic list building ad, so we may as well go here and show you this. And I go here and there's call to action. Download your high converting signature talk webinar template. I click on that button, they're going to ask me for an email address. Already preloaded, gotta love that, right? Click here to download now. Fabulous. And then I'll be taken to probably a thank you page. Brett, teaches Facebook ads, so his stuff is going to be really good. So that's a great example that I struck upon there, right? And he's going to invite me to a webinar now that I've got a download. This is a great way to go further with people rather than just getting a basic opt-in. The thank you page becomes the webinar invitation. And I've tried this myself and for some of my clients, and it can work really well. So it's almost like these layers of additional calls to action where people can choose to stop or they can go deeper. So obviously once they've registered for this webinar, they're going to spend, if you show up, you're going to spend an hour with the hosts, and they're going to offer you something, and maybe they offer you something that's $1,000, $2,000, perhaps it's $47, I don't know, but it's going to obviously have some kind of offer to buy something or to another invitation to go further as well. So that is the example of a basic Facebook ad that is going to build your email list, but I just mainly wanted to show you where these pop up. Now, obviously, I'm on a desktop showing you this. They also show up on a mobile phone in a slightly different format, not these right-hand side ones, just these newsfeed and mobile ads, okay? And then there's also Instagram ads, which we're going to cover on another day of the challenge. So I'm not going to talk about Instagram here, just going to talk about Facebook opportunities. And there's also Facebook Messenger ads, which I might do a quick video on too. Otherwise, as you can see, there's so many dimensions. It's easy to kind of get a little overwhelmed. So I don't want you to do that. I just want you to be clear in your head. When I'm saying create a Facebook ad, what does that look like? Largely a right-hand side, an ad here, or an ad in some other content in Facebook too, if you're scrolling through anything you open, or you're going to Messenger or the like, okay? So just stick to the basic ads for now, and we're going to go a bit deeper into some of the other videos. Okay, so back on track. Now that you know what a Facebook ad is, I'll probably close that. We go into our ads manager. Excuse me. So the highest level of a Facebook ad is your campaign, your overall campaign. And to start a Facebook ad campaign, you need to select an objective. Now, this seems a little overwhelming, right? In that Facebook is saying, great, I can choose an objective of awareness, consideration, or conversion. Now, look, this framework changes all the time. So if yours doesn't look like this, or it changes next week, don't be discouraged. The basics that I'm going to show you will stay the same. You just have to find it in these options, okay? So when you're starting from scratch and you haven't tested a page, you don't know if it converts, you haven't got any conversions off Facebook, I suggest that you go to consideration, send people to a destination on or off Facebook. Okay, so that's the objective that I recommend to start with if you haven't got any conversions happening yet. Now, if you don't know what all that means, that's fine. Just go to consideration, or website clicks might be the other thing that's up on your screen, because this has just changed recently, and I know it used to be website clicks. So anything that says send traffic to your website landing page or page or something like that, or it says website clicks, or it says this, send people to a destination on or off Facebook. That's what we're after for the purposes of the elementary Facebook ad. So we're going to name it a Facebook campaign, and I am going to call it Traffic Boost. I think I'm going to set up another Traffic Boost campaign 2, okay, because I've already got one. So you just name it something so you know what the hell it's going on about, right? Now we get to the juicy bit, where we get to look at the targeting of the audience that we want to get the ad in front of, and where we want to put the ad on Facebook. Now, obviously, there is an absolute multitude of options that you can choose to get your ad in front of your ideal client. It would be helpful if you knew who your ideal client was, right? Or have a really good sense of the kind of person they are, not just age, location, job they do, but also what would they be doing on Facebook? What kind of pages would they like? What kind of keywords or interests or things that they be interested in? Facebook pages are sort of the easiest place to start thinking about the kind of person you want to get in front of, and what kind of other people they would follow, books they would read, magazines, films, competitors, all that kind of stuff, because Facebook will then show your ad to those people based on their likes and interests, okay, as well as some demographic information. What's demographic information? Where they live, age, etc. Okay, so that's where we start at the top here, okay? So don't worry about custom audiences. We'll go into that in another video. This is just going to create a list building ad to cold traffic, okay? This is what we're going to do. So we'll start with who they are, and then I'll sort of show you where you would want to send the ad to, okay? Generally, for most sort of coaching and consulting offers, we're looking at English-speaking countries. There's much cheaper clicks in far-flung places. Trust me, you can get really cheap clicks in Mexico, why can't I think of a country? Europe, even parts of continental Europe, much cheaper than United States, Canada, United Kingdom, New Zealand, and Australia. There's a reason that those 5 are the most, and particularly US and Australia are a great market for ads, is because they generally work. People are receptive. They're very used to Facebook ads. They're used to clicking on them, responding to offers. That can be a good and bad thing in some ways, but generally they're going to be your best markets. They're also going to be the highest price markets, right? Facebook decide on the price of your ad based on a few factors. Those are competition for space in the feed or on the Facebook page. So the area that you're targeting, how competitive is it? How good are you at making people respond to your ad? So what they do is they put this other overlay to see how well your ad's going, and they will reward you if your ad is getting received well, because they want good ads. Good in inverted commas mean ads that don't disrupt the natural ecology of Facebook. Facebook want people to keep using the platform, so they know that ads can annoy people. They want to make sure that they do this as little as possible. It is the main revenue source for Facebook, so they've got to keep a bit of an equilibrium. So the more engagement and reaction and positive response your ads get, the more Facebook rewards you with cheaper prices. But it will all be relative to the category that you're in. All day long, if I could do, people like Hibiscus Moon's Crystal Academy ads, which I've done for her launch before, you can get tiny opt-ins, like for cents, right? It is out there. So when people are saying, Facebook, you can get, 20-cent opt-ins and stuff like that, it absolutely is possible. In the business coaching niche, it's really, really tough, okay? So don't get carried away. And if you're getting much worse results than that, it's totally fine, but we want to make you be able to optimize where you're at. Okay, so let's see how many tangents I can get involved in here. I will try and stick to just creating the ad. Okay, so for example, you'll just put, you just start typing in the countries. Facebook are going to know where they are. Okay, so, and then I might go Canada. I really like the US and Australia. I find them the strongest markets. If you put in more countries like this, you'll find if you bunch them together in one ad, they'll sort of the less popular markets will get served ads more. Okay, so if you want to avoid that, then you can set up campaigns for each country, and I can show you how to do that at the end of this thing as well. So for ease and flow, you want to just throw one up, then just do some basic countries there. Then think about the age of your ideal client. Why is that doing that? There we go. And normally I like to go at least 28, and the most kind of like, a solid sort of age range, maybe around 50, depending. Once again, you can split test all these variables and see where things land. And Facebook give you a few tools to do this too. But when you're getting started, don't get bogged down. Otherwise, detail is the enemy of action. I just say that because I'm not a details person. But detail is it definitely has its strengths. But in terms of all the, bells and whistles in lead generation and online marketing and growing your list, details can really bog you down. So you might, if you want to reach both men and women, check all, or men or women, whatever you'd like. So in this instance, I want to go with, hang on, I do want to put for Traffic Boost Challenge, I'm going to put United Kingdom in there, and I'm going to put New Zealand too. Okay, so I'll pop all those in there. And then I'm going to mainly target women. They're my primary clients, but hey, men are there too. That's totally fine. For things like the challenge. Okay, now what's coming up is the main sort of area of targets that I've used before. So Facebook's remembering that, and this is what I talked about, like what kind of likes and interests your clients have. These are some of the targets that I would be using. My clients can be found amongst any of these, okay? So you can see there's quite a few there. Some perform better than others, okay? Now, if I'm really sort of testing something out, I might want to go broader with my audience. Now, I know without a shadow of a doubt my clients follow Marie Forleo. Most of them would follow Marie Forleo. Most of them would also follow Amy Porterfield. The downside of choosing targets like this and getting in front of people who follow Frank and Female Entrepreneur Association with Carrie Green and Ryan Dice and the likes, Pat Flynn one is a good one too, is that everybody knows these exist in our market, okay? So the more offbeat you can get with some of these, the better, because what happens is if there's less competition for a certain target market, you'll generally pay less. So try and get creative. The problem is what you might sacrifice in initial ad costs, it might flow through to higher cost conversions because the people aren't as ideal, okay? So that's fine. Say I want to start there, because the next thing you'll see on the side here, my potential reach will change, okay, with every sort of thing that I put in here. It'll either go bigger or lower. I don't want this to be too big, okay? So now I'm already like at 10 million. That indicates to me that my campaign is already going to be a little bit too big, okay? So what I might want to do is go, okay, I'll take off, I might just take off Amy, I might take off Female Entrepreneur Association, and then I'm down to 7 million. It's still a little large, so perhaps I need to split test out some of the countries, and I might just go, all right, I'm going to go US and Australia, and yeah, I'm just going to keep it US and Australia for now. Now I'm at 5 million. I like to keep it, more around the 1 to 2 million. I find that you get a lot more sort of cut through, but when you're trying something out, give it a go and see. If it's not working, there's definitely things you can change, like looking at the size of this. But try not to do an audience where you've got 2,000 or anything under kind of 50,000 as a target audience. You're going to struggle to get traction on your ads, so just be aware of that, okay? So Facebook are basically saying there, from what you've put in the targeting, that's how many people they should be able to capture on Facebook, okay? So you put your targeting in, page names. Now, the other thing to watch for is you'll try and put in your competitor's page name and it won't come up. Not every single Facebook page will come up as you type it in. As you can see, you've got to like put something up. Do I come up? No, right? So that's not ideal. Victoria Beckham does. Wish I was her. I'm not. So, you know, you can try a few different ones and some will come up and some won't. That's just the luck of the draw. Unfortunately, it's the way Facebook index their pages, or whether people have put a block on their own page being targeted, and it's super annoying, right? And there used to be some really good ones that you could target that now you can't, and stuff like that. We've just got to work with what we've got, and that's all we can do there. Connections relate to whether people like your Facebook page now, or certain apps or events, which is awesome. So you can use these as well, but I'm just going to show you a basic one where we're going to cold traffic, where we're looking for new clients. I'm assuming you don't have a big following already in this video, okay? So we can also save this audience to use for later, and we just click save and just call it something, okay? And then when you come back next time to your ads, you'll see that I could have just gone to use a saved audience instead of create a new, and that's going to save me lots of time. So I'm not going to save that audience for now, but anyway, now I also want to look at where I'm going to show my ads. Am I going to show them on that right-hand side that we talked about before over here? Am I going to show you in the news feed or elsewhere, okay? So now I like to go with newsfeed and right-hand side and mobile to start. But be aware, even when I edit the placements, they've selected everything, okay? Audience network is really blur, okay? You never really want to select that because they're just looking for cheap and bountiful space to show your ads, and it's not sort of the usual places that people are looking. I don't like audience network. I never select it. Messenger, I'll talk about in another ad, but we're not going to use that now. Same with Instagram, okay? We are going to use Facebook. I don't want instant articles either. That's another place where they're just looking for more ad space, looking to farm you off, and people who never look in here will be paying for ads to go there, and they are basically poo. So don't do that. So we want to go feeds of the news feed and mobile news feed, great, and right column. So when you're starting off, just do those two, okay? There's a lot more placement available on mobile, so most things will go on mobile. It can be a lot slower to get things happening on desktop, okay? More people use, there's more Facebook users on mobile too. Now when you're starting, this is budget and schedule. How much are you going to spend? You don't want to do your dough on Facebook ads while you're just starting out, okay? Because you've got to work out what's converting, what's not. $20 is a good place to start, but even if you're going to do a few ads to test, then you can even go lower than that. But for this instance, I'm just going to crack it into $50, just see how it goes, keep an eye on it. I can schedule these to go on and off. I normally just like to ramp them up and down manually, so I just leave it, that it runs continuously, and I can pause it when and if I want. I want to, now because I've chosen website clicks, I want to optimize for link clicks. Now, why do I want to do that instead of impressions? Well, link clicks are because, well, here you go, you can see it's recommended anyway, but you only get charged to people who click on your link or click through on the ad. So they click through and go to your page. I like to only pay for what I use. I don't know about you, but that's what I like to do. Impressions are just delivering delivering as many displays of your ads to people as possible, and that's what you'll pay for, regardless of whether they click through or not. That can be good if you've got a smaller audience and you need to get things moving, but generally, for the purposes of this, let's go to link clicks. Bid amount. I used to always say, yeah, go manual, whatever. Nothing happens if you go low and you go manual. If you go automatic, that's generally, it's just going to set it from there. It'll sort of tell you how expensive this market is. Like, I mean, these is like suggested bid $4.42, right? So if I went manual, it's probably going to take some traction getting off the ground. I do not, to be clear, want to pay $3.78 or $4.42 per link click, but generally, if you get your ad and your targeting right, you will not. In this niche, you'd probably be looking at around $1 to $1.50 to pay for, so you just select automatic, which is still much higher than it ever used to be, but not as bad as $4, okay? Sometimes the algorithm freaks out and ads are expensive. It may just be an indicator that you need to tighten up the targeting of your ad, okay? Now, when do you get charged? When someone clicks on the link. Great. You'll be able to look into your reporting and check that. Running ads all the time, standard delivery. I haven't sort of set out, when, whether I want accelerated or not. Because obviously if you go accelerated, you're going to show the ads quicker, and as it says there, only works with a manual bid. So just keep it standard for now. Advanced options, you can go into, whether you use iOS phones or Android and all that jazz. Most offers you won't need that, okay? I just went, sorry, that was up there, not here. Went the wrong way. So we were already in the advanced options there. Now I want to call the ad set something, because the ad set is where I change. The campaign is the overall objective, like whether I'm going for website clicks or video views or whatever it may be. The ad set is all about audience, placements, budget, and schedule. So it's everything we just went through there. So I can, reuse this layer. So I'm just going to call it traffic boost cold traffic, okay? Because these people are not generally going to be known to me. Now it's all about the creative. How do we set up the ad? Okay, now there's a lot of options here, and I'm not going to go into them all because I'm going to go into video ads in one of the other days on the challenge. But let's just stick to single image ads for now. I think that's going to be the easiest way. Otherwise, I'm going to once again go off in 10,000 different tangents, okay? So I want to upload one image. If I'm doing carousel or slideshow or even Canvas, then I might have some other sort of images and videos and things to add. Carousel is where, you can scroll through five pictures in one ad, and you can put 5 different links in there as well. That can be appropriate to some more, I guess, product-based businesses, but also service-based businesses. They create a bit more interest, and you can get across a few more messages in the one ad. They're a bit more interactive. But anyway, in this instance, we're just going single image, okay? Now, luckily, Facebook will tell you how big that image is to be, and you would have already wanted to have created some of these yourself, okay? So 1200 pixels by 628 pixels. So don't forget that the image size is rectangle, okay? So you want to be able to, create that, and I'll show you in another video easy image creation. So hopefully you've got some of those on your computer ready to go. If you do, you can just click upload images. I've already got some in my library, so I'll just go and crack on with that, okay? So I've got that image there. What you'll see is I have some text on my image. Be careful with text on your image. You do not want text on your image to take up more than 20% of your total image space. If you Google Facebook ad grid tool, you can upload your image and check if that is compliant. Okay, so now we've got our image. We're connected to the Facebook page that we're going to use. And now we want the website that we're going to use as well. Okay, so I'm going to use this website. So just you can type in your website URL, and it's going to grab things from that from me. But I want to put in the headline, it's the bit below the image. Okay, so I might just put a call to action. The shorter this is, the better. Particularly if you're going to do some right-hand side ads. Otherwise, they can get a little bit long. So try and keep this short. That's probably a little bit longer than I want. So I might just, instead of having the call to action there, I might have the topic and just have it as 5-day traffic boost challenge. And then the text is here. I'm going to put the text that sits above here. I want like a good sort of solid call to action up there and a bit of explanation about what I want people to do. So in this text, I want a clear call to action. I want something that's going to grab attention and engage my ideal client. So kind of connect with what I'm getting across, and maybe the problem or the pain that they're suffering would be a good place to start. Now, there's different ways to test this. You can do this very long or you can do it short. Both can work, okay? People, if it with just a static image, do like to often read a lot more text. But it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes just a simple call to action can work really well. So in here, I might want to go, okay, well, this needs to be in alignment with my opt-in page. Okay, so if I go to the opt-in page here, when people click from the ad, I don't want them to be totally disoriented and go, oh gosh, what's this all about? Okay, I want them to come here and go, oh cool, this reinforces the copy that was on here. Okay, so I might want to put something like looking to grow your traffic in 2017, right? We're at the beginning of the year. Boost your audience using the power of social media. So I'm just telling them, giving them like, you know, a sort of promise. So I'm going, okay, pain point here, promise. Using the power of social media with daily traffic hacks delivered free. Free, wherever, if something's an opt-in, is always good. Join the challenge now. Call to action, always. Okay, and then I also want to always put a link up here. Whenever I do not have a link up here, it doesn't get as many link clicks. Okay, so always try and put a link in here because it will be hyperlinked in the description, which is always another place that people can click through. People can't help but click on links. They absolutely love it. Okay, so whenever you can shorten your link, that works super well too. So in this instance, I've got just another version, because as you can see, this is the actual link up here of the ClickFunnels link. I don't want that in here because it's just going to look gross. So you can use little WordPress plugins or link generators that make it look a whole lot better, okay? And then I can have the little learn more button. I've also got some text under here that I want to create. So join the free challenge and grow your traffic fast, okay? I might even do it. I hate exclamation marks, but I might even have one there. Now, display link, be careful here. You used to be able to sort of write anything in. It is supposed to relate to the website that you're promoting. Because I'm sending this straight to a ClickFunnels page, I could publish it on my actual blog, which I might do so that this link is a bit cleaner. But if I just put even Victoria Gibson in there, they're going to disapprove the ad at the moment because they're on a bit of a rampage about that for some reason. So I'm just going to leave that blank for the moment, and I'm going to track my conversions. I won't go into the details of what that all happens, but I want to make sure that's selected. And guess what? That's what my ad's going to look like, right? So you can see that here on desktop newsfeed. What's going to look like on mobile? It's going to look like that. So we check that. Can you see how my link's all clickable? Great. I can, you know, it's a clear call to action. People know what it's about. And feature phone, what's that? Oh, that's a big, oh, that's a fatter phone. Okay, desktop right column, making sure that all makes sense. Excellent. Okay, great. I'm ready to go. So I just go down here, click place order, and my ad is created, and I'm ready to start watching the metrics and seeing how it all moves forward from there. So stay tuned for some more videos where I'm going to go in a little deeper on some of these elements and move forward. But really, that's the essence of creating a list building ad to grow your email list, get more get in front of more of your audience, and have a way to keep talking to them. So I hope you found that beneficial. Go now and create your first Facebook ad, or your second, third, 100th, whatever it is. Hopefully, even if you took a few tidbits out of that, if you're a seasoned Facebook ad person. Otherwise, get in and think about, okay, creating your page and starting your first ad. And come back into the group, tell me how you went, tell me where you got stuck, tell me where you won, whatever. Come back in, ask a question. I'd be more than happy to answer it. Okay, best of luck.